everyone. Hope you had a good lunch. It was nice catering there. We are Space Squirrel. We're Shopify App Store developers. The two of us are Dom and Djuro. We're a developer and designer duo, partners in life and crime. We come from Croatia. Oh, where is my slide? Okay, right, crime.
Yeah.
Okay, before that, that's us. This is okay. So we are from Croatia, where we met in our late teens, and soon after started freelancing and also opening our own startup-ish things. I'm just going to go quickly over them. In 2007, we opened an icon store. That was our first e-commerce. We were selling icons per piece or as part of a bundle. Also, we would make custom icons. Then in 2008, we joined with a third partner from Germany, and we opened RemindMe.com, which was a reminder service for birthdays, anniversaries, and similar. Our end goal was to sell e-cards and gifts, but yeah, everyone was on Facebook at the time, so we developed a Facebook app as well. But then Facebook rolled out their own like a month later, and it was done. Then in 2010, we did an illustration service where I would take people's photos and make like over-the-top versions of them for their websites and similar. That was also an e-commerce thing. And then in 2012, we started developing kids apps for learning for toddlers. And about a year into that, we got swept into the whole indie game scene in Europe, and we wanted to do our own little artsy-fartsy games. So we started with that, and soon after a year, I think we realized that to do really quality ones and to sell them, we would have to invest a lot of our time, so that project was shelved as well. During this whole time, we were freelancing. That was our main, it was bringing home the bacon. And our main client was Activewear USA, which was a women's activewear reseller. They hired me 5 years ago to do the redesign, and quickly Dom came on board as well because they needed a designer, and together we were their core IT team. With them we learned a lot about e-commerce, and also we did some experimental projects with them, like a magazine where they would sell native ads, as well as a social network for Sweaty Nation for trainers and people who like to work out. So we were very comfortable in this contract work. So we started selling everything we had and started packing up for a trip around the world. And in early 2016, we found out that they were sold to a bigger company, and we were out of jobs. But we kept on with our plan, and fortune favored us because of those brands that were selling on Activewear USA. They started asking us to redesign their own websites. Plus, the new company rehired us again. So we were lucky, and one of those little projects with smaller brands actually got us to Shopify, which is how we first started working in Shopify. I remember Dom being delighted with Shopify, like finally a great platform to work with. So we were super intrigued with them and thought of, well, let's try to do our own theme and try to sell it on Shopify. So we did Annabelle. We put a lot of features in it and packed it with stuff and submitted it to the App Store. But of course got a rejection letter. And it was actually this letter that was so nice and so respectful, and they listed so rationally what was good with our theme, what was wrong with it, what we overdid, what we missed to do, that we were like, wow, these guys really know what they're talking about, and they seem so nice. So we were even more pulled in and wanted to find out about Shopify even more, which is when Dom started developing our first app, which he'll tell you more about.
So when we realized that the themes might not be our thing, we started looking into apps, and I was really surprised how the API documentation was written and how many API calls you can actually make, and just the whole system looked very, very nice. So I was just browsing Hacker News one day and saw app for WordPress, a plugin that's doing image compression, and I quickly jumped on the App Store, Shopify App Store, and I found one app that's actually doing that. But I kind of thought that I could do better, and the app that was on the store was kind of, you have to go to their site, buy plan there, so it's not really fully integrated into Shopify. So I built my own image compression app. What it does is just takes your product photos and asset folder photos and compress them and puts them back to the Shopify. So I asked DJ to come on board to help me like with design, with graphics, and asked her to do a banner for the app. And first she was still in that game development mode, so she did this kind of very funny banner for the app. But over time, she became much better, and now we are here. So this is, I was just asking, maybe we can do a little bit techy or not just games kind of style. So we launched in October 2015. And in the beginning, it was really, really slow. So this is number of page views that we get on the App Store site. And this, in the beginning, I was contacting basically every shop that installed the app, and I was asking them, do you like the app? Do you have any problems? And then if they were happy with the app, I just asked, can you leave us a review? And I just kept going. And this was all just a side project, so it was just like 1 or 2 hours per day, just answering emails and fixing bugs. And then we got lucky, and Shopify in the August 2016, Shopify featured us on the front page, and that brought a lot of customers and reviews. But what's really nice is that after that spike, we actually kept growing, and it's not just that 1 week when you featured, it's also after that you have a lot of requests and a lot of installs. One other thing that I did from beginning, I quickly jumped on Shopify forums and just start answering any question related to image compression, site speed, and when appropriate, I just plugged our app in and just said, hey, we have a free plan. If you want to test this, it might work for you. So you can see this is like total number of installs from a month ago. And our second source of installs is actually people coming from forums. And the third one is just people Googling for stuff like Shopify image compression. Of course, App Store is number one, and that's the beauty of that. You don't have to spend much on marketing because like 70% of installs is coming just directly from the App Store. So as soon as that Crush kind of stabilized, I started working on second app, Crush.pics. So it's basically a Instagram gallery page. And again, the idea, I was just looking at the App Store, and I saw a few apps for like Instagram galleries, and I tried them, but I wasn't happy with how they did it. And I had some experience from like my contracting, where we kind of tried to build like a category page where the merchant can plug in their own photos and kind of combine lifestyle shots with product images. So I set out to build that because all apps for Instagram were just like, here's your feed, there's your grid, and that's it. So what I wanted to do is stuff like this, like when you can drag and drop the stuff or just pin some images to top you have really cool image and you want to keep it there for a month, or if you want just like upload something that's not from Instagram but from like lifestyle shot or something. And of course we have this tagging products or just hiding, showing images. And Crush.pics also started very slow in beginning. This is I think number of monthly visits, and again we got very lucky and got featured for 1 week on the App Store. But what happened is on the June in 2016 we introduced free plans. So we started with like $10 plan and $20 plan because I wasn't sure can we actually support the Instagram calling Instagram API every few minutes. So if we have like few thousand shops using it for free, it could like break our servers. So I kind of let's start slow, and then if we see if it's working, we'll introduce free plan. And as soon as we introduce it, like you can see the jump in June. So people just love free apps, and if you can offer a free plan, I definitely recommend. It's just going to bring more users, and when they grow, they will need more features, and they might just upgrade the plan. So yeah, this is the stuff that I wanted to point out. As soon as we introduced free plan, this kind of jumped, and again it jumped in August. And again, the beautiful thing is just after that 1 week of featuring, we got reviews, we got installs, but just the app kept growing and growing. So this is really, really nice. And
yeah, so at this time we were traveling the world and living this nomadic existence. And as the app business grew on top of our daytime gigs, it became more and more a challenge to organize everything, like logistics of the next leg of the travel, plus internet and time difference with your clients, and all the input from the app store that was coming in. So we realized that there was a need to go back to routine, and we wanted to set up camp. So we came to England. Yeah, we're now based in Manchester. I also came more on board and developed our web presence and our visual identity. We now have 4 apps. And more are coming in. We're developing more. We've also just rolled out a partner program. It's in early stages. If any agencies want to talk to us, please feel free. And we've also, in Manchester, met, friended, and hired Mark, who is a total customer support hero. And he helps us with development and marketing as well. And our main goal is our client satisfaction. We're very proud of our reviews and the reactions to our apps. What we realized is that our business grows not only with each app that we make, but also with the feedback that comes with it, and it helps to sell more other apps. And all of our clients are actually so nice that they also test apps that are in beta. They tell us about any bugs, and eventually, of course, they judge the apps by leaving the review. And this is kind of what drives our whole approach to app development, because we do not consider any of our apps a finished, complete product, but rather an ongoing process where we continually perfect them and work on them. Don will tell you more about our latest 2 apps.
So we released another app in August, Price Beater, and this idea is actually coming from Mark. He was working with his dad on Shopify shop with furniture, and they had a problem with price match, price guarantee kind of thing, and he couldn't find anything in the App Store that could help solve that problem. So we made this Price Beater app. On the front end, it's basically a contact form, and we also have a button on below the Add to Cart. It just tells you we guarantee price. If you find a better price, we will match it. And then in the backend, we have options that you can manage those offers, and then you can even send a link with a discount, so they can just go and buy a product with a discount included. So we launched that in August, so it's quite fresh. And as with other apps, it's kind of slow growth. We got lucky. We were featured in the new and noteworthy section, so that brought up a small spike there. But we started looking how we can drive more traffic to the new app. So we kind of added these gigantic links on the App Store listing, and that brought some clicks. But we also added these banners in all our apps, because we now had 3 apps. So we kind of market our apps from the other apps. And it's interesting because it's totally free marketing for us, and it turns out that that is actually our second source of installs at the moment. So the first one is obviously a Shopify App Store, but the second one is this free marketing that we just cross-sell our apps. So the latest app is Checkout Share. It's interesting. I got the idea from one night I was shopping on Amazon, and I got to the end of the checkout process and the thank you page, and I see this widget at the end, like share this, and of course, like bulb in my head, I directly go to the App Store and see there's nothing like it on the App Store. So I just immediately, the next day, I start building the app. So I also added like share before the purchase, share your cart and get a discount, or share after the purchase on the thank you page, share and get 5% of your next purchase. Of course, this is all that merchant can change in the backend. And as with Price Bidder, so we launched this in September, and it's very, very slow. But we, again, got into the new and noteworthy for 1 week. That was really nice. And we also cross-promoted the app. And again, we have really, really nice, like free marketing, basically free installs from just marketing our apps with banners across all our apps. So that brings us to today, where we are with the money. So this is a graph of our monthly recurring revenue after the Shopify cut. So we're very happy. We are heading to 10K. And we kind of promised to ourselves, if we hit 10K, we will like quit freelancing and do this. We'll try to do this full time. So I think we'll hit that this month. So it's really exciting for us. So if we can sum up in just a few lessons, I guess for us it was all about bootstrapping. So we didn't quit our freelancing gigs immediately. It was a side project. And we take our time, and for the first step, I was doing like, I think 3 months. And you just have to be patient, and you could see from the graph, even the Crush.pics, the first app, it took really like 9 months to get some traction, but you have to answer emails, you have to be there for customer support, you have to do all these things, but you cannot expect, unless you're really, really lucky, to just explode from day one. And I think that I had luck with the Crush, because I just focused on the like first version of the app. We didn't have anything. We just had like you install the app and it starts compressing the images immediately. It didn't have any options, but the user experience was really, really nice. So I tried to spend some time on UI and that UX to really streamline the process, so we don't have many questions, and that the merchants can see the value that app provides. So I'm gonna contradict a little bit, launch it hot. So you have to, when you launch the app, you will immediately go to the like beta. So on the App Store, it will be like big, this app is in beta, use it at your own risk. So, and that's actually good, because it lowers the expectation from merchants. So they don't expect much, and it's good for you because it's like perfect testing ground. So you can test, you can improve, and yeah. So that's I guess lesson 1.
Lesson 2 was a big takeout for us. And it's that apps are a service and not a final product. Of course, we were hoping that this would be just income dripping and we would be drinking mojitos at the beach. But in fact, it's very engaging and you do have to be present with your apps. So yeah, be there, personalize support, answer all of your emails. If you won't be in for a weekend, just do an autoresponder. Use a support platform. Hire someone if you can. If it's overwhelming, if you spend too much time on support and you want to be developing and perfecting your app. Also, get to know your users and just to learn what voice to talk to them in. Because, for example, our Crush users are more techy because they know a website should be optimized. But our Covet users are mostly merchants and they just want pretty pictures. So know how techy they are, how you will speak to them. Also, like, just ask them what their shop is about and what do they expect from your apps, and you will get a better feeling of what you should be offering. Of course, be visible. It's a service, so like be out there. For starters, have a contact button everywhere, contact link everywhere, market wherever you can. Once you get some kind of a user base going, use that email database and then tell them about your new apps and just like be out there however you can. And generally just like provide value and help others provide value. I could trademark because we like this. So, and then our final lesson is very simple. Is that reviews are everything in the Shopify App Store. So just like get reviews. And don't forget to actually ask people for a review when you talk to them, when they're using your app. It's totally fine to ask. When you respond an email, ask for a review. When you close a support ticket, ask them for a review. Just always ask for a review. So in summary, our experience was that it took us 14 months, 11 countries, 10 years of experience, 4 closed businesses before, and these 3 big lessons, plus lots of freelance clients in between, to find this great community where we are happy and feel valued about pouring our skills into and getting the same amount back. That would be all from us. Thank you all for coming and for listening. We'll be here, the 2 of us plus Mark Wave. If anyone wants to approach us, feel free. If you prefer online means of communication, use these. Thank you.
Thank you.